Good morning. Welcome to the Bond Sunday morning services. Thank you so much for being a part of it. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. You can get involved with today's discussion by calling 800-411-2663, 800-411-BOND, or email me church@bondinfo.org, church@bondinfo.org. Appreciate you being there. Good morning again to everybody here. Thank you guys for showing up. You know, I'm standing here doing this, and it feels weird. I'm like, wow, I can't believe I'm doing this. I didn't grow up thinking I'll be doing what I do in life. And it just seemed weird or something. But have you ever found your path in life and then now you're doing it and it's nothing like what you thought you would be doing? And you're like, wow, this is weird. It's interesting. Anybody living that way? No? Oh, two people. Well, that's good. You're like living your purpose, huh? And like you didn't grow up thinking this is what you'll be doing. It's amazing that God has another plan for us that's not our plan or our idea. And then when you come into it, it's like, wow, I never thought I would be doing this way or thinking this way or anything like that. But it's wonderful. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah, what I'm talking about, it's like everything I do in life right now, I never imagined doing it. You have to realize I grew up on a plantation, uneducated. I did finish high school barely, and I got an A one time while going through school, and it was, it was like a yes or no thing, true or false test, and I passed it.
Multiple guess.
So I guessed up on it, and I just thought maybe I'd grow up and get a job, have a nice car, some fine clothes, and nice women. I never imagined I'd be doing what I do in life, and he just kind of put me there, and it's happening. And so it's that kind of amazement that I'm talking about. And so how many people are doing that? Good. Doesn't that feel nice? To live your purpose in life. Yes, Raymond.
It's kind of a bit strange, like you set foot in a new neighborhood or a new country.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting. Christine, you know what I'm talking about?
I do, and I don't think it's our job to be like anticipating or expecting an outcome in life.
That's right.
It just happens along the way, and if you're living, I don't think I realized that teaching would be my job for 36 years, but, I loved it, but it just kind of happened and unfolded, and I got to be better and better at it, and and being a mom and so forth. So, but those aren't things that I think at 20, even 25, I was thinking, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to have this.
I like what you said about you don't have an expectation of the outcome. I never think about the outcome because I don't know what the outcome is. And that's what I love about life, because it takes away stress when you don't have an expectation of the outcome. You just kind of do it in the moment. You're just kind of doing it, and it has its own outcome. You don't have to think about that. And that is like a perfect way to live it. And so I love that word. Yes, Susan?
I was just going to say, I have moments like that, and it's so strange because my little business takes me to meet all kinds of people, and I end up driving to all these places I never knew were there before.
Yeah.
And I never thought my little business, I never thought it's kind of developing in a way I never thought it would.
Yes.
The idea of a successful business was a certain way, and now I'm seeing it's kind of blooming in a different way I thought it would.
I like that.
And meeting people and getting to talk to them and I get to influence them a little bit, talk to them about, things I see wrong, just a little bit, but...
Yeah. If you want to be successful in life, get rid of all your ideas about what success is. Because it's nothing like what you can come into. But if you imagine what success is, you're going to suffer through life. Because I don't know if there's even such thing as success. Because life is like a continuation. You're just living. And I don't know what success is. It look like when you figure that out, it's over for you. I don't know what success is. Because, like, I'm going to hopefully have dinner today. That'll be a successful meal for that. When I left the house, the roof was still there, so I'll have a roof over my head tonight, hopefully. Is that success? Tomorrow I get up and go to work. Is that success? Is it based on, do I have as many dollar bills as someone else? What is success? And why do people stress themselves out over trying to be successful? Isn't that like a setup? Yeah. So now you try to be successful and it's based on somebody else's success. But if you don't have that in your mind, it's not based on anything. That makes sense? It's like, and that's what we're going to talk about today, words. It's a total setup. Words is a setup. And we have been set up to suffer in life by our enemy, the enemy of good. Yes, ma'am?
Well, here I've lived my life until I was 60, letting life more or less unfold. I mean, having, goals, wanting to be a good mom or a good teacher or whatever, but not anything like I will be this at this age or whatever. But here I am retired, and in my mind, of course, I've got physical ailments now, and so I'm focused on, walking and getting better. And
yeah.
So that's, and I'm preoccupied by that. So I've lived my life not having a goal, and all of a sudden I've got this goal, and I shouldn't. I should just be letting,
that's
my
right.
days unfold, and I, so, that's a problem for me right now.
And I'm going to show you today how to let that go. It's easy. You'll let that go. Because you're right about that. Because when you're not focused on that, there's a spiritual energy that runs through you that gives life. And since you're not focused on that, your focus is on the right thing, then that energy can heal you, bring opportunities. It does everything for you. But we'll get to that in a minute. Everybody try to be like Oprah. I'm going to be like Oprah. And then you stress out trying to become like Oprah and never make it. And if you do make it, you find out that Oprah is not that happy. Oprah. Oh, Oprah? Yes. Oh, well, in the black community, Oprah. No, that's the community. And in the white community, or those blacks who are living in the suburbs, it's Oprah. A big O. It is such a relief, folks. And I love doing me. I love being me. I love what I do. I'm not in competition with anyone else in the media. I'm not trying to be like anyone else. It's just me, being me, one step at a time, whatever his will is. And I'm just fine with that. But you're right. If you look over at your fellow man, it'll start making you to doubt yourself that things are not working and you want to be like them. That's evil. That's why God wants you to live from within instead of living from without. Keep your eyes on yourself. Yes, sir.
One thing I discovered is you don't look for your purpose. You don't hunt for it or study for it. Your purpose finds you.
It will.
You find it. It finds you.
Did you guys know that already? The Bible said that your purpose will find you. Do not look for it. Yeah. It will find you.
You always find the wrong thing. It'll be the wrong
That's
thing.
Right.
Depressed, inside, everything.
Rhonda, you understand that? Do you know your purpose yet?
No, I don't know exactly what form it takes. I mean, I kind of know what I like doing.
Right, but don't look for it.
No, I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it to unveil the vehicle that I should take for it.
Right on. And if you seek first the kingdom of God and his right way, it'll find you. It will find. I'm a living witness to that. It will find you.
And I'm saying that too because I know all the books or all the things you read to tell you how to do things.
Yeah.
It seems like all these steps. It's like, it couldn't be this.
It's insane.
Steps to do stuff.
That's right.
God didn't make it this difficult. So.
In my 7 guarantee step, I put down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's just so simple. You pray first and then you let go and it works. That's all it takes.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
If you don't do it, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. But the hardest thing is for most folks to pray. You know, most people will not get up and be still and know God at 5 in the morning. And God forbid if he should ask you to get up at 4. It's over. You're mad at him for asking for 5. Yes. I'm sorry, Ronnie. Go ahead.
I said it almost seemed like the prayer was like an obligation for a long time. You know, it was like,
yeah.
what I have to do to get this. You know? And that's what it seemed like it made it hard.
It became an obligation to you?
Yeah, it seemed like it's something I had to do to get, I know I needed to do it to be calm, but it seemed like it was a chore, you know?
Did you drop it at that point?
I mean, I dropped it off and on the whole time.
Yeah.
But
If it gets to that point, you're doing it not because you see it's the right thing to do, to have that relationship with your spiritual father. You're doing it out of fear. You're doing it because you've heard if you don't do it, this is going to happen.
Right.
Don't do it.
Right,
Because it's not coming from the heart. And it's not going to work.
right.
So
Stop.
that's why I asked you to stop at that point.
I stopped, but I started doing it at 5. Then my husband started getting up at 5, so I do it at 4:30.
Why can't you go to another room and let him just get up?
I can just hear noises and stuff.
You hear
I
noises.
just hear the distraction, it's just distracting.
But that's-
4:30 is just wonderful, so it's not a problem.
Right, but let me just tell you about that, because a lot of people say, well, I can't pray because I hear noises, you know, the disturbance. That's fine. You should be able to sit still in the midst of the noise.
Well, I'm not there yet.
You're supposed to start out that way.
Oh. Not there yet.
I'm not there yet. But do you know that when the noise is there, you can hear the noise, but inwardly you're not disturbed by the noise. And as a matter of fact, the noise is happening in the present, so you should be able to live in the present with that and not be moved by it.
So
That's a whole...
in the same room, and he could be snoring, and I can just be able to...
Yes, ma'am.
I'll work on it.
Absolutely.
I'll work on it.
And the only reason you're not doing it is because your ego becomes frustrated by the sounds around you. And so you give up instead of sitting through the pain of the ego being disturbed.
I like the 4:30 because it's so peaceful.
Well, no, stay with
I
it.
never get that in
Yeah.
my house. It's always noise and stuff, so I like that quiet.
Right. No, I love it too. It's okay. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, in case you're at a party one night, you know, you get drunk, you have to sleep there, and the party's still going on, you be still and let the party happen.
Yeah.
It's not happening to you.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yes.
But no, 4:30 is fine. Yes, Hermes.
Like I said, Rhonda said she's waiting for her purpose to unfold.
Yes.
But I'm wondering, you know, she's married, raised some good kids, and how does she know that's not her purpose?
That's done. Now what?
That's done. What else you got for me, Lord?
Like, sometimes
about
I
a
think
few
people are
more
looking
years
for maybe like economic business, things like that. But sometimes that's not always necessarily your purpose.
What did he say?
You know.
What did you say?
So I said sometimes people are looking for outside things like business, you know, economics or whatever, but sometimes that's not necessarily your purpose. You know, you could already be doing your purpose. It's not necessarily outside of your family life.
That's done.
Just
Your purpose may be to stay home now and wait for the grandkids to come.
The grandkids are here. Nope, doesn't seem like it.
I had an experience past week, I interviewed by Sean Hannity. Anybody hear that? And I was debating with this guy, Leo Terrell. It's like Big Mama, you know, and he never stops. And then he get louder and louder worse. But I stayed calm and I was not disturbed by him at all, you know, distracted or anything, because I just hear this mouth on the out there in the world, and I'm there to get my message across. So the real me was not bothered by it.
You drove him crazy.
He drove you crazy?
You drove him crazy.
Oh, yeah, he go nuts.
Yeah, when you're calm, he just, you know, he just freaks out.
And that's what I want married people to do, so marriages can last, whether it's the man or the woman. Whomever is the loudmouth in the marriage, let them be the loudmouth. And you just stand there and look at them as though you're looking at a movie. They'll go nuts, and you'll go sane. But if you try to argue back with them, then you have two nutty people in a marriage, and the marriage is going to end. But somebody has to stay calm to bring some light into that family. But when both parties are going at it, it's all hell. That makes sense? God said, be still and know the truth. So when you're calm in the midst of the storm, you're discovering truth. And it is absolutely amazing. And speaking of words, I have some questions for you guys. I've noticed that words are messing with people's mind. And words are preventing most people to see that they're using all these words, but they're not happy people. They don't have peace. They don't seem to wonder to themselves, if I know all these truths, if I know all these words, why is it I don't have peace? You know, if I know God's truth, why don't I have a better life? You know, and I'm going to give you some examples of what I've discovered, and then I want your response, because I could be wrong. Since you guys don't bring anything to me, I brought something to you today. And this is not a test, this is a fellowship, and I'm looking for some answers. All right? I know a lot of folks who are into the Bible, and I wrote down some of the comments I hear all the time from these people. And they know the Bible, and when you talk to them, their first thing that they do is quote scriptures to you. You ever seen anybody like that? Get behind, in the name of Jesus, you know, whatever they say. For example, I had a woman call my show this week, and she said, well, before I get going, I want to say, I am wonderfully blessed in the Lord. This is on a radio talk show. And I had a guest there with me. And then she went on to say, no weapons will be formed against me. No weapons that are formed against me shall prosper. And she was going on and on. I'm like, look, you better get to your point while you're up here quoting all these scriptures before I had to hang up on you. My question to that, and then I have some more. I'll give you another example. And then I want to know what's going on in people's mind, because what's going on in your mind that you're quoting these things, and yet you're angry and unhappy, your life not working, but you don't stop for a minute and say, why isn't my life working then? Because the Bible clearly says our life should work if we know what we know, right? I already know the answer. The answer just came to me, but I'm not going to tell you. I'll let you tell me back. I know people who even listen to me, and they go around pouncing on other people, telling them the truth about themselves all the time. And when you look at their life, you wouldn't even want to be like them. You hate them for telling you the truth because they're about nothing. Don't have any money, hardly got anywhere to live, relationships are not working, friendships are not happening, but you're going around telling other people the truth about themselves, and they say, no, don't tell me the truth about me, and then you still tell them. How come people don't pause for a moment to say, well, if I know all this truth, how come I'm not that living example? Because God said that we should be like a living example and not just a wordy example. Why do words mess with people like that? What is going on that you can't see that you just got a head full of words? Yes, sir. And I got some more examples I'm going to give you here in a minute.
Okay. But what?
Is this a good question?
Yes, it is.
Anybody ever thought about this?
Yes.
Oh, good. All right. Yes, sir.
It seems like there's an old saying that a little knowledge can be a dangerous thing. The problem is people don't want to listen to that any more than they want to listen to who and what they truly are. For what you explained, that these people are using the word as either a weapon against their fellow man or as a shield to hide themselves from the rest of the world, including God.
I don't know if they mean any harm about it, though. Sometimes I just think, for some reason, they think that that's right. I remember when I used to go to church, and especially the last church I attended, that preacher taught us to know the Bible, know the words of the Bible, and I tried to learn them. I couldn't, but I tried. But I still was thinking, wow, I'm not happy. I know 1 John, but 1 Jesse is not happy. And I would tell the preacher, you know what, I know I've done this, but I'm still not happy. So I still had sense enough to know that I didn't have that peace within me after doing what the preacher said to do. But most people don't seem to know that, and I don't know why. Even my guest, who would have to be a black female at the time, preacher woman, he saw this woman as nutty. But the woman didn't see herself as nutty. So my question is, Do you see how words affect your life? And, yes.
But there's a judgment that's involved in that. So sometimes I see myself in that mode. It has to do with the judgment and not aware of self also. So if you are judging yourself, so you're going to criticize the person that comes before you to speak to you, and you might see something, even though you don't take care of yourself, you see it in someone else. So you go along and try to correct them and not even paying attention to yourself. And that's what I've seen in myself. So that's why I kind of backed off and said, whoa, why am I saying this to this person and I'm just as bad as they are, in a sense.
Right.
It's not.
Oh, so.
Go ahead.
So when you do that to other people, use words on them from the Bible or whatever, or truth about them.
Right.
It's because you've judged yourself, you say?
Sometimes when it's over with and I really sit back and I look at what I said and how the people responded, and I see what I haven't done, and I said what they should be doing, and that tells me that, hey, what's wrong with you? You're out of sync,
Oh, I see. And so the truth you're trying to tell them has not worked on you, and you realize that after you have spoken to the other person.
Yes.
Oh, okay, but you don't see it beforehand.
No.
Oh, okay.
You see, and then until either you might say something or it might come up in my meditation, and I'm going like, whoa, let me back up for a moment. Before I accuse you, I have to take a look at myself.
Right.
So that, and that's what I see with some of the Bible thumpers. They do the same thing.
We talk about ego a lot, right? And you hear me talk about the pride of man is ego. And now I have people who are testing their egos. And for example, I had I'm distorting this person so you don't know who it is. All right? I started something about to lie about the person, but I'm distorting to protect the person. Is that honesty or what?
Yeah.
I had a person tell me that they got on an airplane. Did I tell you the story? They got on an airplane, and when they walked on the plane, they said to the worker, because you get on the airplane, you have the mechanics on the plane sometimes, clean it up and do what they're doing. They walked over to the mechanic and said to the mechanic the word bomb. And the mechanic like, what? They said bomb. And so, but this person said that the mechanic just fanned them off.
B-U-M or B-O-M?
B-O, like a bomb, you're supposed to say,
B-O-M-B.
like Bin Laden kind of bomb.
Oh, okay.
Like the Taliban kind of bomb.
Wow.
Yeah. And so they said, but the worker just fanned them off and went on back to work. And so they sat down on the plane, and then they got back up and went over to the flight attendant and said to the flight attendant, if I use the word bomb on this plane, don't you supposed to do something about it? And then and that person said, I said the word bomb to the worker and they just fanned me off. Should you do something? And the flight attendant said, well, what do you want? Do you have a bomb? And they said, no, I don't have a bomb. But then why are you saying the bomb? Do you want to get thrown off the plane? They said, no. And so the flight attendant said, go sit down then. And so the flight attendant had the pilot to talk to this person. And so the pilot talked to the person, and the pilot said, are you on medication? Why are you using that word? Do you want to be thrown off the airplane or something? And they said no. And it kind of broke my heart to tell you this, because the person's really a nice person. And then so I said, well, and so the flight attendant said, the pilot said, go sit down then if you don't want to be thrown off this plane. The flight attendant thinking maybe the person on medication. And so I said to the person, well, why did you say that? What made you say bomb on an airplane where you know the consequences? And they said, well, I wanted to test my ego. I wanted to see how I would react in a situation like that. I said, so do you realize you can go to prison for life? You're not supposed to test your ego. The ego get enough tests on his own. The devil's he's gonna test for you. You don't have to do that. I'm like, where did you get this idea from? And they said, well, from the teaching, I thought that's what I'm supposed to do, test myself so I can see where I'm at. And so I'm thinking, wow, that is powerful stuff. How do words mess with people's mind like that that the ego, I don't understand it almost. Because with words, they're supposed to go in one ear and out the other. Do you know you're never supposed to hold on to words? You're never, ever, ever supposed to hold on to words. You become a prisoner of words when you hold on to them. And I know we've been taught that in school to remember math, remember this, but even there, if the teacher had known, they would have told us to hold on to it. They would say, study properly, it'll be there for you, because we have a teacher within. But when you hold on to words, it seems as though the devil used those words against you. Have you noticed that? Or am I just crazy here? Does it make sense, or is something wrong with me?
It makes sense.
But people are doing it in every category, not just, I gave you some religious categories, but you can look into the secular world and see the same thing. They learn in math, they learn in this, and they hold on to it, and by the time they're out of school, they're a nutcase. Words are not to be held on to. They are to go in one ear and out the other one. And okay, I don't want to finish up on this. I want to hear back from you about it. But isn't it like crazy? Yes. But it's not crazy to the world. And I bet you a lot of you do it if you be honest today and admit it. Let me give you 2 quick other examples, and then I'm out of here. Parents. I know Christian parents who are teaching their young children the Bible. And you're saying, what's wrong with that, right? They are teaching them the Bible in a way where the kids are learning the words and repeating them back just like a preacher. And you can see the wickedness in that when these kids learning the Bible. It's taken away from their natural discovery. It's taken away from their innocence. And it caused them to become evil. Because they have the knowledge of good and evil now with the Word. And these parents who are teaching the kids that, they won't look at their own lives and see that they're messed up. They're still angry, their relationships are not working, they're on drugs, they're having sex out of wedlock. But yet they're teaching the kids the Bible that they know that didn't work for them, but they won't say it didn't work for me, so I'm not going to teach my child in this way or children in this way. Have you ever seen anything like that? Yes. Maybe I'm nutty. But it's not working. You're not supposed to hold on to words. One last example. I saw Jesse Jackson. You ever heard of him, right? The Reverend? Down in Louisiana, speaking to a group of black people who are concerned about the oil spill. And the reporter said, Jesse Jackson's in town to pray for faith with the ones who are in this situation. I'm like, why in the... I want to use another word, start with H. What goes through a person's mind to think that Jesse Jackson can come to town and you can go and pray with him and God's going to answer your prayer? I don't understand this stuff. Okay, I'm done. Now I want some feedback. Honest feedback. Oh, okay. Yes, Shay.
Yes, I have a message from Luis in Oklahoma City. And he says, or she, God opened my eyes to see the difference between the church of the world and the church of Jesus Christ. And you represent the church of Christ. You are opening people's spiritual eyes, and it's a great joy to hear the message. I will keep watching.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. Is this making sense? Is this like food for thought?
Absolutely.
Is it? These are the kinds of things that God wants us to be aware of, because by not being aware of it, you're in bondage and you don't know it. You don't know what holds you there, because you're not paying attention to all these kind of things that are from the world. This is why he said that whatever goes inside of you, it destroys you. But that comes out gives life. And so all this stuff is being put up on you, and because we're unconscious to it, it is destroying our lives. Now let me take some feedback. I want honest, help me feedback, all right? You guys are preaching to me today. But where's this thing that kicks in and say, well, I know all these words, but they're not making me better. They're not making my life better. I can tell everybody they hate their mama, or I can point out everyone else's faults, but my life is not working. Where are those words? Let me make it personal. So from now on, I want it personal. Have you ever done anything like that? Was there anything there to tell you, well, I'm pouncing on these people, I'm throwing out truth to these people, but it's not working for me, and why is that? That's amazing. I don't even understand it though, because even when I was in my worst of the worst, that didn't happen to me. You know, I just didn't get into it. I could not get into it like that because my life wasn't working. And so it just didn't make sense. I know people, you know how I say speak up, don't resent. I know people who are speaking up, but they're like evil speaking up. And you can't tell them that they're evil speaking up. And when I tell people something and they don't want to hear it, I'm done. I'm like, oh, okay, and we still could be friends. But I know people who will just force it on you anyway. You're like, leave me alone. And they still just, you just want to hear it. You're just being willful. They won't back off. When a person say, leave me alone, leave them alone. Even with God, if you say, leave me alone, he's going to go right back to his TV. He and Jesus are going to hang out and leave you alone. But for some reason, it's just like their words have captivated these people. Yes, ma'am. Christine.
Well, what occurred to me, especially when Richard was talking, you know, this is a human condition that you know, you see somebody else's fault, you don't see your own. And I don't know that many Bible scriptures, but I do remember, you know, when you see a speck in somebody else's eye, you know, you can't get the log out of your own eye. And a lot of times, the very thing that you're accusing them or trying to correct them is your major fault. So I think.
So they don't know that they have the problem that they're trying to correct on someone else?
Either they don't realize it or they don't want to really look at it. They're not doing any introspection and you know, giving anybody else an allowance for their behavior. You know, you got to look at yourself first. But this goes back, you know, to the Bible. You know, so this is a human condition that's been around for, you know, ever since the Bible was written.
Well, nowadays, you know, we have a way out. You know, like Jesus came and he put everything back in order. It's all back to normal now. Did you guys know that? You can really live a normal life now. Whereas before, they didn't have that choice. You don't have to be that way anymore. You can see truth and live truth and not judge your fellow man and back off and all that. Yes.
That's not taught. Just like you say, God bless America, peace on earth.
Right.
People say that, but how do you get there? So I don't think we're really taught to believe that we can have peace on earth.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, people are constantly saying, you know, and giving us excuses. Oh yeah, you did that wrong, but you're just human. You're only human. So it's so many excuses for the wrong that we do that you never believe that you can truly have peace on earth.
And do you see how words can mess you up?
All the time.
And especially when you have the knowledge of good and evil. You learn the Bible and you're already evil too. It just makes it even worse.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about what do you do when you see that about yourself?
Well, now when I see it, if I can't correct it in the moment, then later on when I see it, I quickly go back and apologize to that person.
Right.
And I had to do that this morning.
Oh, good.
To a niece of mine, I said something yesterday to her mother. My niece was coming over, and I said to my sister, I sure hope her husband doesn't come with her. And when I thought about it later, it kind of changed the mood of things later on.
Yeah.
And I thought about it, and I kept trying to justify it in my mind when I went home last night. And this morning I said,
Yeah.
I got to call her. So I called her and apologized.
And so you can see it most of the time that you have no right pouncing on someone with the truth when you don't have it right yourself.
Exactly.
You can see that about yourself. Most people can't see that.
Yeah, I
though.
saw that.
Most people do not see that about themselves. And I'm thinking that words and twisted things in their ego, in their mind.
Yeah.
And so this voice that lives in the mind when you're angry is constantly talking to you to prevent you from seeing the truth of what you're doing.
Yeah, because
or the reality of what
the
you're
word
doing.
becomes more powerful than the actual feeling or the action.
Ah.
Yeah, because what I said, could have been the truth. But still, what right do I have when I have, who am I?
The spirit behind it was wrong.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. In the back. Yeah.
I know someone that will get a high out of preaching to you, and even if you tell him, I don't want to hear it, you could see that he can't stop.
Yes.
It's going and going. But recently, we have been sharing, And I told him that he had an ego trip going on there because I didn't think he understood a lot of things, although he understands some stuff, you know. But he's getting better, but he still goes and he can't talk normal talk.
Right.
He talks all scripture, you know.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Let me just say, if you're not speaking normal, whether it's about the ego, or it's about hating your mama, your daddy, or it's the scriptures, if you're not like speaking normal, you got a problem. That's a good sign to let them know they got a problem. So anybody, if you're going around talking about the ego all the time, and you hate your mama all the time, or you quote, somebody called my show talking about, well, first let me say, nothing shall prosper against me in the name of Jesus. You got a problem. That's a good clue. God doesn't want you to become abnormal with truth. He doesn't want you to, I know why they do that. It just occurred to me because the preacher said that. The preacher says that when you find God, my walk is different. My speech is different. The way I act is different. So they're acting that stuff out.
Yeah, right.
That's what that is. Words again. It's a setup.
It gets a high. It's a high, you know.
And then if you hate them for pouncing on you, they think they're right.
Yes.
They don't think, well, this person hated me because I'm doing something wrong here. They think, well, this person just hate the truth. And this person, nobody want to be around you. And they don't even think that if nobody want to be around you, and you got the truth, then you got to know something's wrong.
Yeah.
Because people wanted to be around Jesus. They didn't run from him. They ran toward him because he had the truth.
Right. And when my grandsons see him coming, they run and hide.
See that? When kids are running from you. So is this helping a little bit?
Yeah.
Do you guys see it in yourself, what you've done? How you're affected by words? Yes?
Yes.
Mike, I'm going to get to you in a minute with your smile there. Yes.
You know, when I've been meditating, not very long, but I've been, maybe a couple weeks now, and, so I can see this, a lot about my behavior.
Yes.
Meditating, but it's hard for me to catch it, when I'm in the, living my life.
Well, you're on the right track now that you start to see it. You're seeing it. What you got to do in order to overcome it, you got to see it, feel the pain of it, in a little moment of pain of it, then you shall go free. Because the only reason that you're not catching it before it happens, because you still have anger inside of you. And the anger is clouding your view so that you can't see the darkness coming. And so when you let go of all anger, free from anger, period, then you would never do that again. Because you would see the devil and resist him. You would see him coming and resist him. But you got to let go of all bitterness. Because anger is the prince of darkness. And when you have that, you're still connected to the prince of darkness. But you're on your way because now you're sitting still long enough so you can see this other thing that has made a home inside of you. And so you're on the track.
I mentioned to Forrest that when I was meditating about a week ago, I just really got a bad feeling in my stomach, like it was really now what was that? I mean, just feeling like looking at the pain or really...
I don't know exactly because I wasn't in there, but 99% of the time you're getting thoughts that bring on these feelings. Thoughts of fear. Because the devil can make you think about your kids. He can give you an image of one of your kids dying. The kid is doing fine, but if you don't see him giving you that impression, you'll feel this fear, and then you start acting out. You call up the kid, "Are you all right? I had this," especially Christian women. "I had this thing from the Lord that you were dead." And they're like, "I'm dead." But it could be coming from the imagination, the ego. And you're just not seeing it and catching it right now because you think, feel, and act out. And so when you get it, don't analyze it, just watch it. Because the devil will give you more words to make you think it's something that it was not, and then you will not overcome it. Resist that. When God wants you to know something, he will reveal to you, not talk to you. He will. It is all love when he reveals it to you. There's no pain in it. It's freeing you up. It's like rivers of water that is nice to drink. It just, whenever God reveals something to you, it is not painful. How many of you know that? Most of you don't. I'm telling you, it's not. When the devil gives you something, it is painful. God will let you see yourself, but it's out of love and it changes your life. The devil will let you see yourself and it's out of hate and it causes grief. That makes sense? Yeah. God is all love. He's not of hate at all. So when he reveals something to you, you're not going to be tripping out about it. You're going to feel like, wow, this is a blessing. I can't believe that I can see that and free from it. But when the devil gives you something, it's going to be like, I'm awful. I hate myself. I can't believe how I am. You're going to hate yourself over again. You see the difference? Yes. Yep. All right, let me take this lady here and then there. Yes.
I noticed that, I've always been very weak and very easily intimidated. And I noticed that now that certain people, they feel like in order to correct you, they have to get tough. They have to get, tough.
Right. It's a false sense of strength.
I think that's wrong. But
yes, it
so
is.
Many people that do that, they get and I just was wondering, because I'm beginning to doubt myself, because I've always been very easily.
Well, why would that make you doubt yourself?
Well, what I mean is, so many people do it.
But why would that make you doubt yourself, though?
Because I don't know. But I did something wrong the other day. Someone sent me a letter that was kind of intimidating, and I didn't react to it or anything, but I kind of intimidated back. I was kind of mean back, and I felt bad.
So you did react to it then?
Well, I didn't.
If you tried to be intimidated because they were intimidated, you reacted.
Well, anyway, I did it, and I feel bad the way I did it.
Right. But why did you say I did not react, but I became intimidated too?
I didn't get...
but you reacted, though.
Well, maybe I did. I'm trying to think. I did. I just thought I handled it properly because I apologized for something I did.
She's proven the whole point of this conversation.
Of these words.
Yes. She's proven right now exactly everything you've been talking about words.
Yeah, you just said someone sent me an intimidating letter, and I'm thinking it must have been a bill collector. And you said, but I didn't react, but then I did.
Well, what it was is I apologized. She was right about something. I apologized for that. But then she did it in the wrong way, and I kind of, pointed that out in a real kind of mean way.
Because she got to you.
I just felt like being mean back.
Here come those words.
Right. But you don't just feel like being mean back. There has to be something to bring it on.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
But I did, it's been bothering me ever since I did that.
Because you were wrong.
Yeah.
That's why. And you have a conscience, so you're wrong. Yes, Mike.
You said something interesting. You said, God won't reveal truth to you in pain.
Right.
With pain.
Right.
So, God will never reveal truth to you if it's going to be painful for you?
He doesn't condemn you like that. He doesn't make you feel condemned. He causes you to feel loved by allowing you to see it. I remember just long story short, I told him to let me see myself one day, 21 years ago, and he let me see myself, but it wasn't condemning. It was out of love, and he just allowed me to see it, but I didn't feel condemned.
Right.
And I hear a lot of people saying that they feel condemned, and I think it's coming from these words from the devil.
Well, that's profound, because when something really changes in me, and God showed it to me, it's like a breath of fresh air.
Yes.
And that's all it is.
Yes.
But I've also seen things about me, and I guess the difference is when my heart's prepared and I'm bonded to my God, it's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
And it's done with you. It's over with.
That's right.
Now you're on that. That's what you love, and you're going to stay on that course. But
very good point.
when your heart's not prepared, is that still truth coming from God? I think it is, but you're not ready for it, so it is painful. Because a loving God, like a parent, would still show you something.
I know, but
as a kid, rebellious kid, he's going to be like, no, that's too much, I can't handle that, and go off and do his drugs or whatever.
But that's not how God reveals truth to you about you.
So will he will only wait until you're ready?
Because he knows your heart. He knows when to do it, so yes. But the devil condemned you all day long. always tell you how bad you are, how you look, what you did, what you didn't do. You did this wrong. So let me just say this, because you just made me realize something that now I realize that these people who are saying that, oh, the truth is so hard, the truth hurts so much. What it is, they're hearing from the devil about themselves, and he's condemning them, and that's why it's painful.
Yeah, I never changed when I had all that pain.
That's right.
I knew I needed to change, and it seemed like the truth, but I didn't change during that time.
Nobody does, and now I know why. They have accumulated all these words, and the devil using that. They hear from the preacher, they hear from the teachers, they hear from the parents, and the devil is using that against them, and that's why they feel so condemned, because when God reveals something to you, it's pure love. It's never harsh. He just allows you to see, but in that very moment, you're free too, and you feel like, wow, that's amazing that he would do this for me. You feel like almost unworthy. And I hate to use that word because now everybody's going to say, oh, I was saved, now I feel unworthy. But it's not a feeling of unworthy, but you're just amazed by it. So you got two people revealing you to yourself. One is condemning and the other one is setting free. That makes sense?
Yes.
With words. God don't use words. He doesn't use words on you. He reveals. He makes you free.
So words or feelings, right?
Right.
Right, words or.
Words or feeling. Yes, Herman.
So are you saying that if God truly reveals something to you about yourself, that he's going to do it when he knows you're ready to receive it? So really, you never reject it.
You would never reject it.
Reject that, okay.
That's another thing I don't know why these folks talk about. They rejected God. He knows your heart. He made you. He's not going to deal with you until he's ready. How are you going to reject him?
Well, those words, that is their God, the ego. So that's why they associate that's their God.
Yes, sir.
But they don't know that because that's
this is
their ego.
some amazing, and I'm a dummy from a plantation, and this is amazing to me. Really, if I didn't know this on my, him revealing to me, I wouldn't understand all this. It would be crazy. Let me take this young man and then I come. Yes, sir.
Someone did something to me the other day that made me angry, like fire angry. You want to kill somebody angry. And I noticed that when I think about it now, it was painful. To be in all that anger was painful. And the fact that I identified to some degree with that anger or that side of me, that's what makes it so painful. Once I let that anger go, though, I realized that now that I could be in front of this crazy person who does off-the-wall things, and it's not like I don't want to be. It's not like I don't want to be around him anymore. It's just like, I know him.
You see the person for who they are. It has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
And they don't mean you any harm. Most of the time, people don't mean harm to you. It's just that this is what's driving them. But because you have an ego, you're an angry person, you take it personally. All with words in the name of Jesus. You take it personally, absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
I was just going to say on the whole thing where God reveals is that it's hard to say because anger is hard to have righteously, but do you believe that there is a time and instance that very rarely there is righteous anger?
There is always righteous anger. What I mean by always is that you can see injustice, but don't hate it and do something about it. But the unrighteous anger is when you feel something about it. That is not righteous anger, and there's never a moment for that.
Okay.
Never, ever, but never, 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 ever a moment for that.
The feeling.
Because it's not love.
Okay, well, if there's that spectrum of it, isn't there always the second spectrum? So if there is for righteous, the firmness and everything of that, then it would be okay if God revealed something to you that, you might not so much feel the pain, but you might shed a tear because, dang, that was something that was shown to me, and I did do something like that, and you just showed me the light. Like, there was light there. And if it is true that it is a breath of fresh air, and we will take it in every time that God truly shows something to us, when God or Jesus truly come down to take us, and those people that are with the devil or whatever you want to say, then they'd all turn to God because they would see him. They wouldn't turn away from him and cry and hate and get angry. They would actually we'd all be part of heaven then when he came. It'd be all wanting to see the truth that he's saying instead of turning away from it. Because sometimes I do believe that God, when he shows you truth, it's because he does believe that you need it or that you're ready for it, but you might need to go through that struggle of anger, like, dang, I see that I treated my child like that, and fight with that ego. But because you fought with that ego, you realized what you're doing to it. You realize you're fighting with an ego when there's truth to it, and you do change from it.
Do you go to church somewhere?
I had been for probably like a month and a half.
And you've been reading the Bible and stuff?
Yeah.
Stop it. Cut it out.
What is it that you're saying?
Because what you just said there's no simplicity in it at all. It's confusing. Because I don't know where you went with that. To the dead folks and all that kind of stuff. It's not simple. It's too wordy. And a lot of people are getting messed up by going to church and reading the Bible and getting all into it. The truth is in our heart. It's already written in our heart. Now, I'm not saying don't read the Bible, but don't read it to come up with all that kind of stuff. It's never going to make you free. It's already written in our heart. He said that there will come a day I'll write it up on your hearts. And it's there. And when you can stay still and just deal with the moment, deal with what's happening right before you, then you shall know the truth. The truth will guide you. Don't worry about the dead, what's going to happen if and when they come and when Jesus come and all that. It's just a bunch of don't worry about. Your only concern is about this moment. God is in the presence of you for you right now. He doesn't want you to get into all that. And when he needs you to know something, he'll let you know. You need to drop that.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah. Don't go back there. Keep it simple and sweet and just live one step at a time. That's all you need to do. When you pick the Bible up, just open it, read something, put it away and go your way. Don't try to read the whole Bible by Christmas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And don't be writing Bible notes and it's crazy. Words will be used against you. You want revelation. You want to live a life of awareness. You want things to be revealed to you, to occur to you, not wordy, heady. Just pay attention to the folks that are like that. They are nuts, whether they come out of a college or a church. They're both the same. And for me to say this to you, it will have to be shown to me because I don't have sense enough to know this on my own. They're both nutty. Pay attention to that. And evil and angry and doing everything wrong. But they both got the words. That make sense?
Yes, it does.
I have 1 minute left. Is that right? 2 minutes left. Doug, look at me. 2 minutes left.
Yeah, 1 minute and a half.
Oh. Look, you got to calm down. God said, be still and know the truth. Truth is simple and easy and light and all that. But you got to overcome your anger. As long as you have anger, you will always be separated from God. And whomever tell you that there's a time for anger, as the young lady said, righteous anger, they don't know what they're talking about. It's not based on what you think or feel. It's based on what is right, and you will be guided to deal with injustice when you see it. I encourage you to get a copy of my prayer CD, Be Still and Know, at no cost. Just shipping and handling so we can make more. But get a copy of Be Still and Know and give it a try so you can calm down and the truth will be revealed to you. Get away, don't hold on to words. Don't hold on to the Bible words, because a lot of Christians think that if they hold on to these words, they're going to put them in their hearts. That's dumb. Absolutely dumb. Let it go in one ear and out the other. All right, go to my website. You see it flashing across. We have the website flashing across the screen now, so we'll move it up. Order Be Still and Know. We also need your financial support to make this and other things happen. All right? We need your support. Thank you for tuning in. Did this help a little bit today?
Yes, sir.
It really did help. It's something to think about at least, right? God wants you to think on these kind of things. Don't worry about anything else. Thank you. Bye.